Hi guys, Jason from JVA Carpi Adventures, and this week you join me back on the bank at Mousehole. But this episode's actually not about Mousehole Diaries, it's actually just about winter fishing, and I want to get feedback from you guys as well with regards to what you do differently, if at all, in winter. Now the first thing I want to point out is normally when I come fishing I have a load of camera gear. So I have my digital SLR, I have the wireless mics that go with that, I generally have the drone with me, I have loads of different lighting options and stuff like that. I have a pedal that could activate the camera. There's loads of gear, and I'll tell you, the camera bag has got to be close to weighing 20 kilos guys, and I've just kind of come to the opinion, I don't know if it's going to work, but I've come to the opinion that I don't need to be carrying around that amount of heavy gear in the winter, particularly if I've got the option to move. You're less likely to if you've got to lug a whole load of heavy gear. So this vlog is actually being filmed on the DJI Osmo Action 4, which I've only recently just purchased, along with the Mini Mic, which I'm hoping is giving good sound quality. So this gives me a lot more versatility, a lot more smaller box. So I will show you actually. So effectively everything just is in one box. That's it guys, all my camera gear is in there. The tripod that's holding the camera now is actually a selfie stick with a little tripod screwed into the base. I've got one of these, sorry guys, just caught up on something. I've got one of these neck mounts, which means I could do selfie takes, or you know, I could film catching a fish and that sort of stuff. And like I said, I've got the wireless mic, so that one hold sort of holds everything. There's no separate tripods to be carrying or anything like that. I might actually show you, take a picture on my phone actually guys. Let me just do that, and then I can kind of show you exactly what I'm talking about, otherwise it's probably going to be a bit confusing. The first thing, obviously, I've downscaled my camera gear, and I think that's quite massive, and I hope it works out. I really do, because I like the idea of just carrying one small waterproof camera. That's probably the other point guys. So I did have my digital SLR, I also had the action camera, which was another version of what I'm using now, but it's not waterproof. And obviously, sorry, I've just realised I've covered my mic up. And obviously, with all the rain we get over here, I really should have just got a waterproof action camera from the off. So like I said, I have now, and I'm hoping to use it a lot more. Also, it might be a case of I might be able to get some underwater footage with it as well, because it's actually quite a good camera. So fingers crossed, you never know. But there's other things you do additional, like my sleeping bag. So my sleeping bag goes from a light tracker, sort of nylon-y type bag, to a Avid Thermafast 5-season bag, although I haven't got the middle bit at the minute guys. I've got to be honest, I don't think it's that cold at the minute, so I haven't got the middle in, but it does have that option of the middle to go in. And then obviously, you know, you're wearing the headgear. I am just in a t-shirt at the minute, but I will be changing that after I've done this little bit into a thermal base layer, then my hoodie, and then this new sort of polar fleece. Talking about that guys, this is just a nice polar fleece with a hood, and this is from Primark and was only £24, so no carp tax or anything like that guys. And I'll tell you what, I was like t-shirt and this, I was sweating setting up. I had to give it a good little hold just so I can sort of cool down basically before filming this. So downgrade the camera gear, upgrade the warmth. So also I've got merino wool socks on. I've also got heated socks as well guys. There is a review on my channel somewhere, so I'll probably drop in a link for that. And they are a game changer, I've got to be honest guys. I also have a mat in here on the floor, but I've also got a yoga mat underneath it, or a cutting of a yoga mat underneath it, and that's to give me another insulating layer between my feet and the floor. I've obviously got some thermal boots on, so that's me part thing. You know, make sure you've got to take care of yourself in this weather guys. So next thing is, what about bait? Do you change it up? So I probably am going to have to grab my case really, so let me just grab something guys. So normally when I go places, I do like the first night just to go light on bait, but that might mean a handful of boilies or whatever. Today I've just put each rod out with it'll either be just a solid PVA bag by itself, a small little stick mix, so you can see that that is small. So a small little stick mix there, guys. Or a small little mesh bag. That's it. That's what I've done on all 3 rods for tonight. Whether it pays off or not is something else, but that's what I've done, guys. So do you scale stuff down for the winter? I know some guys actually still bait quite heavily in winter and have success. Obviously I'm at Mousehole Lakes currently, and it's one of those places I wouldn't advise about, you know, baiting heavily any time of the year, if I'm honest, least winter. But do you go the reverse? Sounds like it's about to start raining. Do you start putting more bait in, guys? I am genuinely interested. I'd like to know what you guys do in the winter, perhaps differently than the rest of the year. So one of the things I've done on this session is, again, I'm always looking at the weather apps, and also I know what sort of conditions I'm going to be hitting. Particularly this weekend, there's a storm coming in, so we've got high winds and rain, and I know it's coming from the northwest. So I've positioned my bivvy with the back, with the wind behind me basically, which has meant I'm not facing the water of my lake. But for me, I think that's important for this weekend, particularly with the high winds we're getting. So do you watch the weather a lot more closely in the winter? I certainly do. Also, good thing is with the weather changing as it is, the pressure's coming down. So I think, you know, fingers crossed, I could be good for a bite this weekend. So what things do you guys look out for in winter as well? Quickly recapping, don't want to keep boring you, but I've downgraded the camera gear, or stripped back my camera gear. I've boosted the clothing and the sleeping bag to accommodate. I've given myself another little mat under my mat in here to give me another layer. I've got heated socks with me, possibly if I need them. I pay attention to the way the winds are, particularly if there are cold winds and rain and hard rain coming in, to make sure I position my bivvy accordingly. I use less bait than I would during the rest of the year. I doubly make sure I've got more lighting and more battery, so head torches. I actually bring 3 of them with me, guys, just in case I don't want to run out. I also have a spare bivvy light just in case you don't want to run out, because there's so many dark hours in the winter. You don't want to be in the dark, definitely not. So why don't you let me know, guys, what you do differently in winter? Obviously I've only been fishing for about 10 years, guys, so I've not been fishing, you know, all my life like a lot of you guys have, and you'll have loads of great experience. And why not share it with everyone, guys? I'd love to hear how you guys get on. I really would. Alright guys, thank you for watching so far. I'm hoping tomorrow to go into it a bit more, if I can think of anything. Okay guys, a couple of things that I may not have mentioned with regards to winter fishing. Do you bring one of these? So a snod. Because I do find in the colder months, even though I might be warm and toasty in the sleeping bag, my nose is always frozen because it's out of the sleeping bag, so just pulling that up helps. And also, do you also bring gloves? I've got to be honest, my hands have been really cold today, guys. Every time I've gone out, it's been icy rain out there and my hands have been freezing. So just to warm them up, I pop them in the gloves for a little bit, you know, and that really helps. So a couple other little things that you might want to make sure you've got if you are doing winter fishing. Obviously there are other benefits of winter fishing, and that is generally the banks are a lot quieter, which means you can move. Now today I haven't moved because the wind and rain has been terrible, but I did have the option to move into the next 2 swims, but since no one's in there, I've just put a rod across them and got it a bit more locked up so I can get to it and bring it in over to my side of the lake. So what other things do you guys do for your winter fishing? Let me know, guys, I'd be interested in knowing. Hi guys, well that brings us to the end of this short little vlog on what do you change for your winter fishing. Please guys, if you've got suggestions and comments, please leave them below. I'd really appreciate them. You know, I do like this to be like a two-way community where, you know, I let you know what I do, you let me know what you do. Maybe some of us will change, give each other good ideas, that sort of thing. So yeah, please guys, comment below what you change up for winter. I'd really like to know. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, guys. If you've enjoyed this short little vlog, give it the old thumbs up. And if you want to be notified of future posts, hit that bell icon. Only leaves me to say, stay safe, stay fishing, and I'll see you in the next vlog.